Hey, what's going on? It's Frankie B, and I'm back again in the art flow. Now, let's see what we have here. Sketch cover. Like it's a vlog. I know that character. And actually, the cool thing about it is that I have a short story that I did, and that's going to be popping up in issue 4 of Legends of Log whenever that drops. So when that drops, definitely check it out. I was very happy that Ski contacted me and he said, "Hey Frank, do you want to journey back to the North Woods?" And I said, "Yeah." Even though I still, I'm working on kajus and cowboys and had some other stuff going on as well. He still made some time for it just because I really love the character. The character's a really great character. I have a blast illustrating them. Well, all right, with that said, let me work on this music a little better. I'm going to be doing my second sketch cover for the new up-and-coming ALTERNA Comics auction. I believe it's coming this weekend on Saturday. And again, I'm going to be going back to King CRYPTID. And one of the rules that I do, and here I'll start as I'm talking, do it much better. I'm not going to talk too much. This is going to be a mashup video, talk a little bit, and then I'm going to transition over. Excuse me, I actually have some, what is it called? What are these things? Vitamin C supplement drops. So I got them in my mouth and I'm trying to talk and stuff. But anyway, I'm planning on doing King CRYPTID, and he's going to be, the idea is that he's gone through a portal and he's appeared into the North Woods, and then Log and Bird are pretty much shocked, but they're facing him. They don't know if he's an enemy or a friend, so that's the scenario. Usually when I'm working on projects, I need to have a sort of rough idea of somewhat of a theme or story to sort of go along with it. It just really helps, as I'm laying things out. I have to say, this character's proving to be really, really interesting. King CRYPTID. I know that, and which should make Pete really, really happy. That's always a thing with when you're going about concepting characters, is that you never know if the character is going to be received, in a positive manner by people. People look at it, oh, okay, I don't get it. That's the worst thing. So for me, I love concepting, I love that part, because that's the part where I feel like you really can put your ideas and thoughts down, and where the real magic comes. So let's see. And he has one in the back. Okay. I'm actually using the reference sketch that Pete had for the character. It would be nice though. I think it'd be would really help is that if he eventually can get turnarounds of the character, that could really, really be a big boost to it. Clean up the line work and stuff, and so various artists can have something to sort of work from. I'm just a stickler. I guess that's my thing. Those are my years of when I worked in production and stuff like that. I'm a stickler for that, where it's like it's so necessary to have imagery to help other artists, be able to view whatever the concept is, and so that when they work on it, they can apply their style to it, but also understand that they have to have some level of boundaries too. You don't want to go too crazy where it's, you're making a character not look like the character. Like right here, you don't want to add a nose to the character. Somebody may feel urgent and want to add a nose and be like, oh yeah, no, the character doesn't have a nose. So that's why it's important. That's just my thing. I'm always a stickler when it comes to character sheets and things like that. Oh man. Okay. Since getting back into doing more comic book stuff, I've gotten back to penciling. Penciling has become it's fun. I used to do that back in the day too. I used to pencil a lot. So I think I'm gonna have this scene right here over here. I'm gonna probably, most likely right over here where the one is I'm gonna probably go over there with some white out. I'll probably it might just be ink. I gotta say I'm gonna ink it and stuff, but do something where he's popping out in front instead of behind it. Usually when I do these kind of these sketch covers, I'm trying to think of ways in which the sketch cover doesn't just become this thing where it's just a, you know, you draw this art image and then it's just static. You know, it doesn't work. I'm from the old school of where covers kind of, you know, the cover itself was part of the interior as well. It was like a, you know, it was a starting point, and then you go into the you go into the actual story once you open the book up. All right, you know, now see, I'm getting all quiet and stuff. That means my mind's just sort of going with it. I'm getting into the art flow. So happy to see so many other artists that are cranking out their work and showing their work. I think I've seen a huge boost in it. It's important, you know. I think that it's good to see other artists who are willing to get out of whatever those fears are that sort of stop them from putting their work out, and then they just go ahead and just put it out, because that's what it is. That's what it's all about, you know. I've never allowed anything like that to stop me. I just kind of was like, well, I'm just gonna put it out, and if somebody likes it, they like it. If somebody doesn't, okay, cool, no problem. Not the end of the world, you know. And I've always had I've always been my own cheerleader. Instead of going around and critiquing myself to oblivion, because critiquing is good to a certain degree. It just depends on how you take critiquing. Critiquing can be something where it can almost hinder you. It can almost, I'm in a belief where it can almost damage something where you may have this great concept, and then just because you over critique yourself. I had many of my teachers, even mentors, who were just like, you know, there's a point where you got to pull the trigger and you just got to go, and you see what happens. And then, you know, if something cool comes out of it, that's great. If it doesn't, then you learn and then you move on. But you don't ever let yourself get so to the point where you're just overthinking every single thing. I tend to not do that. I don't overthink it. I just go with the flow of it. It feels good, I'll do it. It's kind of weird. I tend to get people in it. Oh man, people. It was such a time where people, the sense of you know, I had somebody label me as a kaiju king or whatever. I don't know. It was weird, but I personally don't. I don't see myself any person that's super knowledgeable about kaijus and stuff. I know what I like, and I know the feeling that I got when I watched kaijus and super robot shows and things like that. And I think that my artwork is merely a reflection of that. It's not a reflection of somebody who's sitting there and I can rail off the names of, you know, the actors and the people who design the things and stuff, because that's just not it. You know, it's more of just like I just, when I draw kaijus, I literally, I feel like I'm back when I was in my teens and stuff. And that feeling of just like, wow, this universe and these characters and so much fun and whatever. But the only difference is that I've had years now to perfect. Like I know what the little tricks of the trade and stuff like that, to be able to, when it comes to my art, the tricks of the trade on how to get with the vision that's in my head down onto paper. That's the only difference. When I was younger, I didn't. I kind of was like, oh my God, how does that work? How do you make this character? How do you put the perspective? You know, I didn't have that knowledge, because I needed to learn it. I needed to, you know, I went to art school and stuff, and I had to learn it. And then from there, it was, I had to sort of go through the process of learning, and that all came from just, again, me just being in the field and just working and learning and constantly learning. I'm still learning stuff. I still see stuff from various artists, and I pick up new things. All right. So one thing you gotta love about the pencil, man, it's like when you catch stuff. One thing I gotta remember about King CRYPTID is that he has his wings kind of fold over. It's like almost like a cloak. It's really cool. It almost has that Batman. I've seen Batman with certain people used to do that. Batman would have his cloak kind of thing. Oh, you know what? Another character too. I'm all over the place. Another character I can remember is Goliath from Gargoyles. But anyway, the scenario here is, I know I'm all over the place. The scenario is that he's entering from a portal, which we know in the Legends of Log there are portals. So that kind of worked in the story. So he's pretty much exiting this portal, and he's like, whoa, what's going on? So I put a little dialogue up in there, and bird saying, squawking something, and pretty much when I think of Log, I always think of him again. He's like Wolverine in my mind. You know, I'm currently reading Alpha Flight, John Byrne's Alpha Flight, and Log, actually, again, he's a mixture too of like Puck. You know, Puck was another cool character. I really enjoyed that character. Oh, he'd be a joy to draw. Great character. But anyway, that's you know, that's my you know, my take on Log, and still got to figure out, you know, what King Crypt is about. But he's definitely regal. I try to make sure that there's almost a regal sense to him. All right, you know what? I think this is about that time where I'm gonna switch on over to Hyperlapse. And as always, I'd like to just thank you for coming by the channel, checking it out, looking at the videos that are on there. It's tough now because I'm currently in the production stage with Kaijus and Cowboys. We have 12 issues that we have to do for our new publisher, Second Sight Publishing, for 2022. Now, I'm not saying we're gonna get all 12 issues done in 2022, but right now we're building up. You know, I'm on issue 2, and then, you know, once I finish issue 2, I get to issue 3. So it's definitely a process. So me loading up videos has become kind of tough. It's just, you know, anytime I can put some videos up, I will, get these small little moments. But, you know, I got a lot of videos on there anyway, so feel free, take your time, pace yourself, check them out. With that said, keep that art flowing. bye.